All right, you devils out there. How's it going? Sam here with you. Let's see, it's just about noon here, Friday the 8th. Now, of course, we're going to do an update here on Bitcoin. And just quickly, let me note here, we'll miss mostly to YouTube subs. I've been gone for, about 2 weeks now. Long overdue vacation. My wife and I went to, but we traveled all over Italy for the last couple of weeks. So that's the reason for my absence and no Bitcoin video last Friday. I think I actually missed two of them. Members, of course, know this, and I'm trying to get back in the saddle. I'm a little bit under the weather. The last day we traveled back, my wife started getting sick, and of course, there's no way around me getting that. So now it's hitting me today. So I'm not my usual self. It's because I'm a little under the weather, feeling pretty shitty at the moment, actually, to tell you the truth. But I wanted to at least do this here, so there's not quite the video I had in mind. But at least we'll do an update here and then look at a few things, a few options here. That there's not a dramatic change from where we left it. And two counts, I think, really probably three counts here we could still say are valid. I'm going to start here with, this is the most bullish, right? So this is, I've got a weekly here, then the Brave New Coin Liquid Index, so we get all our history. And the premise being that the initial run up to 2017 highs of 1-2. And then if indeed that's a 1-2, and then we've done, if this is a completion here of if we complete the impulse here, and we've gone 1-2, 1-2, right, potentially. So this would be the most bullish, just thinking that through, 1-2, and this is just the one of the three. Well, we're gonna like where that's going, right? Anyone who's a Bitcoin bull who's accumulating down here in this range, as I am, and continue to. As far as I'm concerned, if you're a long-term bull, right? Bitcoin's on sale. Again, if you have a long-term horizon, boy, what an opportunity. Now, of course, nothing says that the market has to complete this wave count. There's no obligation of the market to do anything. But if you're a long-term bull, boy, this would be an opportunity to perhaps be adding to your holdings here. Now, this is not financial advice. It's just what I'm doing. Right? It's just what I'm doing. The opportunity that I see here. Certainly, you would want it to be capital that you're not going to need anytime over the next, really could be 3 to 5 years. So, with that kind of time horizon, I think this is a very attractive place to be accumulating, right? Which is what I'm doing. So that said, we can just look at this indeed, it's a variation and not quite the count that we had originally hoped for, but you can certainly make a strong case for this to have completed here, and just we're in the process of correcting. So we get 5 up, working on 3 down. Now, are we putting in a basing pattern here? Well, of course, you'll note we tagged the median line. This was a 50, and we've got to and through the second targets here. Now, we did just come right into the window here, the 127, 138 for the length of the A projected from the B. So you've got a lot of technical confluence here that would suggest a reasonable place to have found some support. Now, as you look at that, if you're familiar with Andrew's trading principle number 3, if we're not going to pivot exactly on the median line, it's not uncommon to kind of wrap around the median line on both sides of it as the market decides which way it's going to go next, right? We're going to go back towards the upper parallel or head down towards the lower parallel. As we get to a smaller time frame, I think it's reasonable to conclude here that we don't have at least at this moment in time, we don't have a pattern here that looks terribly bullish. But, we'll take a look at it here. So Bitcoin's got some work to do to get out of the hole here. And now we see, the markets in general, risk assets, a lot of uncertainty about where the market's going. And I don't know if we could have had any more negative news piled onto crypto in general. And I do need to make the distinction, and I think most as we get more comfortable with the distinction between Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, that certainly we have no shortage of negative news about crypto, and Bitcoin gets caught up into that. But I think you do have to make that distinction between what are we at now, 20,000 cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. if you make that distinction in your mind and don't lump them all together, I think this looks much more reasonable as a potential area of accumulation. So with that said, here, just looking at this count 1, 2, well, what are we looking for? It's not too hard. Now, again, is this the low? Well, if we're looking for a 2, one more leg down here, which would be reasonable as we look at lower time frames here, to come to the 50. That might be a place you'd be looking for. So if we roll over yet again, I'll be buying. So here would be first target, right? If we're gonna go to third target, 1.7 million, right? I mean, it's not out of. To be perfectly honest, that's what I'm expecting. I'm just looking at and it's not hard to do that. All right, if that's a 1 and we're going to do a 2 here, well, no, maybe it takes this long. Now we're at 25, 26, 27. To get there, can you wait that long? Can you wait? Could you wait that long in that trade? Right? If we get started here, if we get a 1, 2, 3, something like this, could you wait that long? Would it be worth waiting that long? Pushing 2 million up there for the 1, 2, 3. That's what I see. So this, it almost doesn't matter to me. This is just, I'm going to dollar cost average down, right? And I certainly, I'd be comfortable dollar cost averaging all the way down here to, this is 14 and change, golden zone, any of it. Now, if we come in here, if we get a little confluence here, we get the 1618 length of the A projected from the B right at the 50 as we hit the potential. It's always just that, right? Let's make that distinction. This is only potential support. Prior resistance potentially can be there for support. It's not a demand zone, right? That's the clear distinction. Not a demand zone, but potentially prior resistance becomes support. So as I look at this, I'm willing to wait. Right? It's again, very deliberately capital that I don't need, and I'm willing to wait. Right? What do we get out here? March of 26. Yeah, I could wait that long. Again, would it be worth it? Nothing outrageous here that I'm projecting, right? That would just be a 1618, or in the neighborhood of a 1618, and we get the 3, the 4. Now remember, this would be, now to really, I mean, I know this is bull porn, but this would be 3, 4, 5 of the 3, because remember, this is 1, 2, right? We're looking for an impulse here to get up to this 3, right? 3, 4, right? It gets kind of crazy up there. It's almost too hard to get your mind around it. But we're getting, it's really, yeah, well, high class problem if we get there, right? But as we sit here now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing outrageous as far as I'm concerned. I know many people look at that and go, "You're absolutely fucking crazy," but call me crazy. Right? Well, I'll meet you at 2 million. Tell me how crazy it was. All right, let's. With that said, so there's your bull porn. Now let's go over to here. I've just switched over to Coinbase. Here's the daily, and this is pretty much where I left it. Before I left on the 22nd of June. Popped right into that. We had drawn this, right? The first thing I looked at when I got back, right? First thing we looked at, right into the pocket of the 27382. Second most common if the 100's not going to hold it. Now, does that look like we have a basing pattern there? Well, it's possible. If this 1, 2, we're going to need to have a big 3 here, right? before we get any enthusiasm about, hey, potentially an impulse off the bottom, and now we're looking for that. Right here, it just looks like a textbook correction. So if we're coming out, and I know some of this is hard to see here. I got a lot of shit on here, but if I just draw it, if this is the B, 1, there's a 2 in here somewhere, almost doesn't matter. If that's the 3, 4, now, all right, could we be done here? Well, we could. We could. Hard to see with the macro backdrop how that we'd launch here, but Bitcoin is always full of surprises. Right now, it's hard not to see anything else as just a standard correction as we have this massive imbalance here. So even something up to here, which might lead you down to that lower pivot, could be over here, right? If we're going to stick with that geometry, but it's hard to call this. Oh, hey, 1, 2, and we're off we go. And if you look at it, we'll look at it just without all the Elliott on there. Bitcoin's got a lot of work to do, right? So we can see the obvious locations it's going to have to struggle with, right? We're going to have to get through all of this right here, which was for so long was the support. So you know there'll be a severe defense there. Oh, let's look at it over. Oh, I've got it over. Here it is. All right. So we take all the Elliott out. Notice I'm just looking at a volume profile. This is actually, these guys do really nice work. The DGT. Shit, I don't even know what it stands for. DGT, but they've done some great work on indicators. So if you just went to indicators and typed in DGT, you'll see their lineup of indicators. This is the price action, support, and resistance, but I thought it was a nice example here of all the resistance Bitcoin's got to get through. So one, here, if I pull this back off, you see the channeling on here has been quite effective. Right, down channel, corrective channel, we break. Now we're in this last channel. So for us to get out of here, well, you can see it pretty clearly here, right? We're basing down here. We got a little resistance here to get through. Here's the next serious resistance we got to get through. I mean, clearly, you see it on the volume profile. Now we're at 30 and change, right? So what do we get? 22 here. We a little kickback. We got to get. You can here. Maybe if I zoom in here, we see this big window here. This gap. Got it. That gives. What that creates is the opportunity for, because the imbalance here was so severe, right? There's no buyers, right? If we can start to get traction here, you might get a little more enthusiastic because it should be able to move through this pretty quickly, right? We need a catalyst. So 1, 2, okay, maybe 3, okay, right? I run into some resistance. You can expect that. 4. Now, can we go again? And then the next one's up here. Does this look like that's about about to happen? Well, again, I just remind you that if it gets going, there's not a lot of resistance here because of this, right? Moves so quickly, so there's no resistance here. Now you might find a little, up in here, but if we start to do that, well, let's just measure it out, right? If this is a, oh, let's keep it simple. 1, 2. Well, here'd be 2618 pumping into all of this 200. The 1618 seems like, oh, why would it stop there? There's no resistance here. There's no reason. Oh, you probably got a little order block in there. I got a little order block right here. Not probably, you do, right? Broke that low, down we go. So you got a little order block in here at 200. So if this is going to start to do it, oh, okay, so maybe 1, 2. Oh shit, didn't draw that very well. 1, 2, okay, working for a 3, 4. Can we get up and do something like that? So then you'd be thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I mean so it's easy to draw it on the map or on the chart here, but is that what's coming? Well, there's going to need to be some catalyst for that. Right now, there's nothing that we can intuit, right, just based on what's going on around the globe and in the financial markets. No real reason to anticipate that. So right now, again, it just looks like a standard 3-legged, right? Just an ABC into resistance, right? Order block. Again, why would you assume anything else, right? Until we get out of this, well, here, let's back it up. First, next thing that has to happen, we got to get out of this channel. I mean, it's clearly defined channel, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This channel is clearly containing the market. So we got to get out. We got to break. We got to break, and then if there's some comeback down here, then all right, we got. So a lot of TA has to happen here to get Bitcoin out of the hole down here. So until then, what I see is this: an opportunity to accumulate. Somebody else is accumulating. Here's the POC. Accumulation nation, right there. Right, and I'd keep a little dry powder myself, right, as I'm doing, right, keep a little dry powder. If this is just going to be an ABC and rolls over down, and we stay in this channel, we're heading down to some of these, well, shit, let's hope we're not going that far, but we could be. We're going to head down again. I'd save a little dry powder for some additional accumulation. If we get a 1, 2, 3, well, that same dry powder could be here for your 4, 5. So never want to go all in if you can avoid it, especially when we're in such a pronounced downtrend. Oh, let's see. Do I have anything else to share with you here? I don't think there's a lot. All right, here, looking at it. Oh, let's just zoom in here again. 3, 4, 5. Okay, maybe. you can kind of look in here. Oh, let's get rid of that. If we look here, it kind of looks like you wanted to go 1, 2, 3, but the 4, look at the 4 relative to the 2. So you could make the case here that this is a better fit to get the 3, 4, 5 here, right? And then we'd be done. But if that's the case, if we're done here, we're certainly a possibility. What did we complete here? Where are we? Now, probably the count that so many people have abandoned, but I think it's too soon to abandon it. I'm bringing it over here in Motive Wave. It's still perfectly valid. Nobody likes this count. Of the two, I almost prefer that this not be it, right? Because the other count's more bullish. But we can't eliminate this count yet. 1, 2, 3, right? So we did it through the internal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us that 3. Right? This was always kind of an alt. 1, 2, 3, doing the 3 here, A, B, working on the C. The symmetry here is not bad, right? So I should note here, this is, I'm on a weekly here on Finex. 1, 2, 3. The time relationship here, the symmetry between the 2 and the 4, well, we're not even to 100% the length of time of the 2 relative to the 4. So we're not out of bounds here to where this, and just, again, look at the channel. Right now, you'd call this overthrow here, right? Little overthrow as the market was so bullish. Now look at the Elliott oscillator, 3, 4, divergence at the top for the 5. No signs of divergence down here. Again, I'm on a weekly. So to accumulate here, it looks like we're just sitting in a trading range here on the weekly. Now you would like to see that's the God EMA, or pardon me, the God MA, the average of the EMA and the SMA. Certainly you'd like to see get above and hold that. As we did through, I mean, we had this COVID low wicked us through it all the way. Only on this move down did we break it. So to get back above that, I think bulls will start to celebrate that. We're not there yet. But this count has been abandoned by so many. I don't think we need to abandon that just yet. Well, I mean, abandon it at your at your own risk, right? I mean, it's technically still perfectly valid. So there's no reason to abandon it. Maybe it's your third alt, but it's still perfectly valid. So I wouldn't walk away from it just yet. What are we doing here? Well, it remains to be seen. But I'd take you back to here. We've got all of this gap here. So if we start to get some traction, we can break through the resistance here, start to look a little bit more encouraging. So I'm probably going to leave it there since I just feel like shit. And hopefully by Monday we get back on a live stream. I'll be a little more rested. I'm still 7 hours is some serious jet lag to overcome. It takes a while. I'm waking up at 1:30 in the morning because it was like 6:30 in the morning in Europe. So I'm still dealing with that. So I will be a little bit more myself, I'm hoping, on Monday. I can give you a little more enthusiasm here. I'd envisioned a rip-roaring video today, but I just feel like shit. So I appreciate you guys tolerating me here. Again, hoping to be better on Monday. My thanks to the team here, and this is, of course, to members and to the team that covered for me while I was taking that holiday. I appreciate you guys, and I'll just wrap up here with a reminder to all subs or anyone watching here. Of course, you can always join us for free. Links are directly underneath the video. Right? You can always pop in. Get started on the white belt. If the Elliott stuff appeals to you, great. But that's not all we've got, right? It's just one approach to the market, but that's not all we do. The more you come in and spend time with us, we've got plenty of people that look at the Elliott and go, "No, okay, I understand, but it's not for me." Right? So we've got all of the price action, all of the SMC market structure. My partner, Monty Crypto, has his unique approach to geometry. Long-term support and resistance. So a lot of different ways to approach the market here, and I think you'll get good exposure to all of that through working with us. If that's of interest to you, right, join us for free. Take a look around. Ask the other members how their experience has been going. I think I'll never take my word for it. Right, just listen to the other members. Okay, guys, there you go. I'm going to wrap it there, and hopefully, as I said, I'll be feeling better on Monday. All right, you guys have a good weekend, and we'll catch you on Monday.